My hair looks crazy. We're just gonna have to deal with the camera being on my hands. So, but this is going to be your tarot reading. Starting with Tara. I was sitting with my candle, and I was wondering I was just wondering what to ask, where I should go with this reading. And I got the idea of doing a tarot card spread, but I don't usually do spreads. I usually just kind of do the cards and then go from there. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna read the energy, and then maybe we'll see from there if a spread forms itself. So, with that being said, welcome to your reading. So, go ahead and just give me your permission to read into your energy. Let's see what this collective, what's going on with you guys right now. We have Knight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, the Devil, whoa, that's too many. What else here, Spirit? What's going on with this collective here? I'm a very soft-spoken person, so if you have to turn up the volume, go ahead. I'm sorry, I don't have, a proper microphone or anything like that, but we make do. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Four of Wands reversed. So right off the bat, I can definitely see a collective who is worried about, or perhaps you're not really, you want to be independent, you want to be financially independent, you want to be materially, in general, independent and reliant on yourself, and also stable for yourself. You want to be able to secure and stabilize yourself here, but I don't think that's where you are. I think you're just in an era right now where that is just not working out for you at the moment. Maybe you just don't have the kind of job you want, or it's your living situation, or just in general, you feel like you can't really feel safe, secure, or relaxed without this one thing kind of getting fixed. I do see that you're an intuitive, creative person. I see that you maybe, at the time I'm posting this video, it's going into spring, it's March right now. Maybe with this change of seasons, you're kind of becoming more active, there's more movement going on with you, especially creatively. You may be just journaling more, you may be doing some kind of hobby, more cooking, creating something, or just the inspiration is there to move. And I think this hobby or whatever it is that you're kind of waking up to right now is definitely feeding into your stability. It's kind of giving you the warmth that you are in need of after being in this energy of feeling stuck, feeling like this could be like a mindset, feeling like you can't be independent, feeling like you can't, do whatever, feel whatever. 6 of Wands. Give me a minute. Let me get the book for this real quick. I'll be right back. I don't know what's being shown. Yeah. Okay. 6 of Wands. I need the book for this really quick. I want the book. Maybe you're kind of working on not just your mindset, but also your speech. I need this. I need this. Do you need it or do you want it? There is a difference. Yeah, 6 of Wands, victory, success, rising up. But it came out in reverse. You definitely feel you're in this comparison type of energy. Maybe you're just looking at other people who are where you want to be in life and you're just not there, but they have it and you want it, and it's just kind of highlighting to you all the things that you don't have or all the ways that you aren't moving. But I am seeing that you are moving. I can see that this creative inspiration here with the Knight of Cups, like I said, it's feeding into this warmth that you need. It's kind of starting to nurture the seed of eventually getting that stability and independence that you crave and deserve. Let's see what else is going on here. 10 of Pence at the bottom of the deck. Seven of Wands, standing your ground. 10 of Pentacles again in reverse. Wow. I'm seeing this as you standing your ground in the face of, this is 10 of Pentacles in reverse. This is generational wealth. This is generational wealth. This is material abundance, prosperity. In reversed, it's kind of feeling like it's, those things are kind of crumbled, it seems. Or not even crumbled, it's just not something that you have achieved, not something that you have. Yeah. But 7 of Wands is a card about still fighting for, still moving forward, pushing forward, or fighting for what you want or what you have, even when you're exhausted, even when you're burnt out. Even when you've used up all your other candles or flames, you've still got this one burning. You may be on your last limb here, but it's an energy of pushing forward anyway. I think this is meant to be encouragement for you from Spirit here. Why? Why should they keep pushing? Two of Cups. Okay, let's get some more into that. Why should they keep pushing? 8 of Pentacles and 10 of... Okay, so 2 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, and 10 of Swords. Let me get my little book for the 10 of Swords. This, I like to see what this artist's, intended meanings are behind the cards. I'm also still learning the cards as I go, but I'm much more comfortable than I was before. Fun fact, when I started doing little tarot readings, I started on TikTok. That's mostly where I post is TikTok. And my beginning intro was, help me learn tarot or learn it with me. That was my beginning intro. Now, it's just, let's do a reading, you know what I mean? And it was, I didn't even actively decide that change, it just happened. So maybe that is a helpful little, fun fact for you. Anyway. Yeah, so why should you keep pushing even when you feel exhausted or you feel like you can't possibly see how you could achieve the life that you want right now? Why keep pushing? We've got the Two of Cups. This is a relationship. This is a balanced relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a business partnership. It could be a friendship. It could be a partnership with yourself. You making a deal with yourself. It could be a partnership with like a thing, like a goal that you have. You're partnering up with your goal, you know? But cups is to do with emotions, relationships, and, you know, connection. So I'm seeing here, especially, and then there's the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is about building up your skill, meticulously um, working at this thing, this hobby. It is slow and steady work. It is detailing your work in the sense of just continuing to master whatever it is that you are pursuing right now. I think with this, I think with these two cards together in this context, I do think it's like you're developing connection during this process of, you know, during this kind of daunting, kind of, you know, I guess I could say the word slow, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for here. It's just, you know, it's a process that takes a long time. It builds up over time. You can't take shortcuts, or if you do, it's like, it's just not going to be, you know, the way you want it to. If you want to do well with this, you have to take all the steps and take your time weaving the web like the spider is. But during that process, you build connection, you build relationships, you build partnerships. If you're in a relationship that romantically, if that's like your main focus here, it's feeding into this connection of yours somehow. With the Ten of Swords is rock bottom. You literally cannot go any further. You can't fall anymore. You've hit the floor. With this energy, I'm seeing that, like, sorry, I was about to start getting overwhelmed with trying to talk fast. I was getting so many thoughts that my mouth was about to go faster to keep up, and then I was like, no. Let's breathe. That might be an important thing for you. But yeah, with this Ten of Swords hitting that rock bottom energy, it's not a warning here. It's acknowledgement. It is like it can't get any lower. You know? I mean, it could, I'm sure. But basically it's just saying, like, the only other direction is up from here. And that's really encouraging, I think. Yeah, Eight of Cups reversed at the bottom of the deck. Eight of Cups is this feeling of disappointment. It's feeling, it's like just this upset, having to leave something that doesn't serve you anymore, even if you really wish that you could stay, even if you wish you could have it work out. But it came out in reversed here. With this being in reversed, hold on, I'm getting a little warm. Sorry. With this being in reversed, it's like that disappointment energy, that energy of just kind of wishing you could make something work. It's kind of leaving that energy. We're kind of getting out of it. For why you should keep pushing forward. It's because it will push you out of this stressed energy of how I don't know how I could achieve this lifestyle. I don't know if I can ever get there. You will. It takes time. It's not immediate, okay? That's part of the human experience. Splitting the deck, we've got Two of Wands, the formation of a path. Oh, I feel guided to read for that too. Let me see. Yeah, determination, direction. With the Two of Wands, it's clear you're on your way to success. You're focused on a goal and have boldly pointed all efforts in that direction. Yeah, definitely continuing on with the path. The synchronicities are so lovely here. I love when that happens. Ooh. Eight of Cups again, upright. King of Swords, Father of Swords, and the Sun. When you are facing this heartbreaking energy of just major disappointment, feeling like something just hasn't worked out and now you have to leave it, or feeling like just this upset, or just this sort of, not regret isn't the worst. Oh, worse? Regret isn't the word. That's funny. Regret isn't the worst. Okay. But, it's not regret that I'm looking for here. Maybe remorse. When you're just in this sort of remorseful energy, this overwhelmed, heavy, energy, channel your King of Swords. Channel your inner passionate, fiery leader, visionary. You know, the King of Swords is somebody who, he is a confident leader. He is a visionary leader. He has a vision and he's working towards it. He's action oriented. He's bold. He is charismatic, you know? There's something here about when I'm getting reminded of this comment I saw a while ago. It was on a video about something, I forgot. Doesn't matter. But the comment was this person basically saying that, like, when all else fails, they use hope in like an ominous sort of way. So for example, it's like they have to like they are going to be successful because there is no other option. Or it's like the thing that I'm scared of is just as scared of me, if not more. Or, you know, just other, you know, it's like optimism but ominous. And it's so funny to read. I wish I could like pull that comment up because it was so funny. But yeah, I feel like that also applies to the King of Wands and the King of Swords too. But with this energy, it's like you're going to win because you have to, because there's no option. There is no other option. It's going to happen, you know? And then the Sun card, definitely channeling that confidence, that determination, even when you're exhausted, even when you just can't possibly see how this would work out for you in a way that benefits you. It's kind of just like it's going to work out because there's no other way. I don't have a choice. The choice is not mine. You know? This is a card of joy. It's a card of happiness, illumination, but it's also a card of ego. And in this specific instance, I am seeing that, yeah, just when you're facing this kind of distraught or stressed or disappointed type of energy, channel the version of you that is confident, that's a little egotistical, you know what I mean? Channel that version of you, your alter ego here. Because it will help you. Oops. I want to do Oracle. I was going to do something from my stack here, but I think I'm going to do from this Oracle, Oracle of Pluto. I don't use this deck often, but the cards are so pretty. Okay. Let's see. Let's read a little deeper here. I don't have a prompt in mind, so Spirit, let's just read a little deeper. What is something that you want to bring to the surface here for my collective? Oh, that was a bad shuffle. Let's try that again. Okay, we got 3. Got my cards going everywhere. Alright. We have lizard, alligator, and devil. Get my glasses real quick. Alright. I have to look these cards up, so it's gonna take a second. But, you know, get a sip of water, go to the bathroom, come back, I'll still be here. Right. Devil's 42, alligator's 44. There's lizard. $83. 42, 44, 83. Okay. Alright, starting with the lizard card here. Repeating a cycle, unlearned lessons. Lizards are often associated with the idea of regeneration as they can regrow their tail should something happen to it. Damn, it's so dark. So sorry for all these interruptions. Alright. Indeed, it is a handy trick enabling the lizard to not only get a major part of its body back, but also to do better next time around. When lizard energy is present, we too are being offered this gift. So is this kind of headspace, this feeling, it must be something that you're used to, huh? But with that being said, I ask, there has to be other things that you have now that you thought you would never be able to accomplish. It's funny, I was actually journaling about this earlier, and I was writing about how, when I was younger, when I was learning to drive, I learned to drive pretty late to begin with. I was 19, I guess, and I was such an anxious driver. It took me such a long time to even get my learners, let alone my license, right? But now it's just an everyday thing. I'll go out to drive just for fun, you know? And it doesn't bother me, especially not anywhere near as much as it used to. Not even things like highways or things like that. Something here is, this is a card of cycles. It is a card of, you may be experiencing this feeling because it's just including lessons that you haven't learned quite yet. And that's all this process is, really. But the good thing about that is you've done it before. You've done it before over and over. Think back to your middle school self. Think back to your high school self, you know? Even if it's something like how to deal with certain kinds of people or certain kinds of friendships or relationships, you know? I bet you $10 that a middle school version of you would struggle with things that the current version of you, it's just a second thought. It's not even a question. It's easy to deal with. You don't even think about it. That's how quickly you can handle it, right? So it's essentially, that's just happening again right now. You're stressed about it right now, but you don't realize how easily you'll be able to overcome it in the future. Okay, let's go on to alligator here. So this is the alligator card here. Hidden enemies, survival. If you've ever been to the swamp, you know that even if you can't see them, under the surface of any body of fresh water, an alligator is lurking. Alligators are not to be trifled with. They wait just underneath the placid surface until their prey gets close enough to the water's edge, at which point they jump out, snap down their bone-crushing jaws, and drag their meal underwater. This watery predator moves with surprising speed and precision, too quickly for the animal to react or recoil. If you've pulled the alligator card, you too have a hidden enemy lurking in your environment. Now is the time to tap into your intuition. As I'm reading this, I'm reminded of the alligator. Is it an alligator or a crocodile? The alligator from Princess and the Frog, Tiana. You know, the first 3 alligators that we meet in the movie definitely are the bad guys. They're trying to eat Tiana and Prince Naveen, right? But then they come across another alligator, and he's just chilling like a villain. He just has his little horn thing. He wants to play jazz. He's a wonderful guy, and he's funny, you know. I don't know why I felt the need to explain that quite yet. Let me see here. I think the reason why that came to mind is, I'm sure hearing about this card, you might have immediately thought, oh great, somebody's out to get me. That's not the case, because what comes after that card is Devil here. In this oracle deck, the Devil card is, again, addiction, abuse, aggression, control. It's a call to get real about the patterns, behaviors, or cycles you are perpetuating that are unhealthy. This, in a way, is the very essence of shadow work. As a byproduct of life, each of us inevitably has at least a few ways in which we tend to self-sabotage. So the alligator here, it's not an external person for you right now, most likely. Obviously, use your discernment. But the main alligator here, the main bad guy, is coming from inside. Doubting yourself, saying no to potential opportunities because you're afraid that you won't be given a chance to begin with. It's kind of like you are literally the one who's saying no to you. And that's kind of the root of it here. lizard, growth, regeneration, repeating cycles until you learn it. So part of why you're in this space, part of why you are at where you are in life right now and you're not happy about it, is because you're declining potential opportunities to take steps that reach your ideal lifestyle, your goal, right? You're blocking them. And of course, this isn't on purpose, and everyone has this issue at one point or another with something. That's just a natural thing. But, that's the truth. That's what's happening here. So I wonder, Spirit, how are they self-sabotaging? I see that they're doing it. How are they doing that? Like, give me an example, maybe. The Hermit and the Magician. The Hermit and the Magician. The Hermit card is introspection, solitude. The Magician is a card about, this card explains about how you have all of the tools necessary and the ability to use these tools to create and manifest what it is that you want to bring into your life. How are you blocking your own potential here? You're going inwards, you're kind of receding, you're hiding away from it, you're scared of it. You don't even realize, or you just don't, you're too afraid to feed into, I don't even want to say potential, it's the knowledge. You ought to know how capable you are, but you're scared of it. You want to go into your shell instead. Maybe you're afraid of rejection, maybe you're afraid of embarrassment or failure. Maybe you're afraid of being perceived here. Considering this turtle's, receding into its shell, doesn't want to be seen. There could be some comparison if what you're wondering about is maybe like content creation or some sort of like literal physical creation. Maybe you're comparing yourselves to other people who are much more advanced, but that advancement didn't come from nowhere. Growth has to start somewhere. There's always a beginning, right? Okay, so how do we get out of that? How do we release or how do we break this cycle, this change? Guided to do it this way. So how do we break that cycle? How do we stop blocking ourselves and start embracing ourselves and propelling ourselves forward? Spirit, let me see. Let me know. Oh, goodness gracious. This is a lot of cards. But I do feel like it is telling the story. So, we have the Hierophant, Knight of Cups again, the Moon, Mother of Wands, Queen of Wands reversed, and Ten of Swords again upright. How do we get out of this self-sabotaging? With Hierophant, the Hierophant card to me symbolizes wisdom. It is leadership, it's structured guidelines, it's often religious or philosophical leadership in somebody, spiritual leadership in somebody. But that wisdom, it's about having the wisdom there. It's about having a deep understanding of something. I'm noticing how the key, the wisdom, is pointed straight to you, the Knight of Cups here. The crow is struck with some sort of revelation here, some idea. I think this is beginning to talk about just how starting with unlocking something, there's something for you to unlock here spiritually, internally. We've got the moon after that. The moon is the subconscious. It is things that are hidden. I don't want to say secrets exactly, and especially not in this context, but it's things that are hidden. It's the subconscious, the internal. And I'm seeing here how, how you are looking right at the moon. You are looking right at the subconscious. I'm seeing you here, your intuition, or your higher self, or however you want to think of it, and then you looking at something within yourself that is completely just hidden or unknown to you. And the way to get out of this cycle is to unlock it. Queen of Wands reversed, followed by the Ten of Swords. So what is it that you're unlocking here? I think you are asking yourself, why is it that, how do I word this? Help me, Spirit. There's a lack of confidence here, but there's it's like, I'm seeing this right now as feeling overly, maybe defensive, scattered, yeah, defensive, scattered, unconfident. I don't know that, what is the word that's the opposite of confident? Unconfident doesn't sound right, but you know, basically, yeah. You're unlocking, you're dissecting why it is that, you know, when you're dissecting why it is that you feel so, I guess, inferior. With the Queen of Wands in reversed, I see that as like kind of a type of person who they just feel like, it's like when they see another work or somebody else's progress, it just makes them think, oh, I'm so behind. I'm so slow moving. I'm so unskilled here. And it leads into this awful, heavy energy. comparison, could be jealousy. The key to breaking this cycle of constantly feeling stressed and worrying that you'll never reach where you want to go in life, of dissatisfaction with where you are in life, the key to breaking that here is really asking yourself, like, firstly uncovering the fact that you have these emotions. You know, if it's something like jealousy, if it's comparison, first you have to acknowledge that it's there. You could be feeling some type of way and it's a negative emotion, but you don't know what exactly that emotion is. Well, how can you dissect something when you don't even know what it is, where to look for it in your body? And then from there, figuring out what that is, and then figuring out why. Why do I feel this then? What triggered it? Why did this trigger that feeling in me? And it kind of, shadow work can be daunting to a lot of people, but really it becomes a natural flow, you know? It can feel overwhelming when you start with a blank page, no prompt, no idea of what to even think about, or just being so stressed that like you don't even want to look at all of these ugly feelings. It feels bad. But it's a natural flow that happens when you ask like the initial question of, well, first, what is this? What am I feeling? Like, what is going on here? And then when you figure that out, you get to the next thing. Okay, why? Okay, what triggered it, you know? Let me see. Alright, I'm gonna pull from the Greenwich Oracle. Maybe we can get some reassurance for you. Can you overcome this? Of course you can, but... Leaves. I just split the deck. Leaves, renewal, retrieval, progress. Alright, let's see. Oh my gosh. Broom, energy clearing, freshening. Yeah, that clearing out the energy, that's what this Hierophant, unlocking that wisdom, that's what it does for you. When you unlock a gateway within yourself, you unlock new knowledge within yourself, a new, deeper sense of understanding within yourself. Suddenly, it clears away some of that blockage. It's kind of like when you clear a game level. Is it late at night where you are? Should you be asleep right now? If that's the case, you don't have to jump right into writing immediately. I was gonna say, you don't have to jump right into writing right away. But yeah, I can see somebody just kind of laying on their bed or laying on their couch or something watching this with just the most like dead inside, exhausted look on your face. Like the most unamused, like, It doesn't have to be anything daunting though. Starting with just thinking about it can really help, especially if you're not somebody who does journal or anything like that. You definitely should. I highly recommend it. But starting somewhere. gets the ball rolling, right? And you can even just start putting it in your notes app or something. We've got preserve, security, forebought, thrift. I don't know what the word forebought means. But preserve, yeah. Preserve your energy here. I think part of why shadow work is so daunting for many people, especially if you're new to the concept of it, which is essentially, it's like writing therapy for yourself, right? But part of the reason it's so daunting is because a lot of times people start with, they'll get a shadow work journal that has a bunch of prompts, or they'll, just start like writing and think, okay, I have to, write this essay, right, about why I feel this way or whatever. That's not the case though. Shadow work can come in many different forms. The goal is the same and the end result is the same, of unlocking a deeper understanding of yourself and therefore creating a stronger sense of security in yourself. The result is the same. So preserve your energy here, especially right now, because I can see that from the beginning of the reading, I see that you're just so exhausted and stressed. And it also doesn't mean like, okay, let's look at what I have to work on, right? Let's list out my faults. That's not what shadow work is either. I mean, yes, accountability is important, but shadow work is also, it's also just observing and at the very least becoming neutral with yourself, I do feel envious, I do feel jealous, but you know what? I'm human, right? And it's like, knowing the core values within yourself. Like, for example, I've felt jealous before. Of course, everybody feels jealousy. But I don't want to take away what the other person has. And I don't want to see them suffering necessarily. It's just that I want that for me too. And that's a very human thing. There's no need to villainize it, right? So it's just stuff like that, like openly acknowledging yourself, what you feel, validating the fact that feeling these things, even if you don't want to be feeling them, or even if they embarrass you or you feel ashamed, validating it because it's a human experience. Winter, an ending, recharging, reflection. Yeah, we're just coming out of winter as I'm at the time that I'm recording this. But definitely, kind of like a hibernation. You don't have to completely recede here, but it's just this energy of recharging, recuperating, right? When you put an end to any cycle, good or bad, it can still take a toll on our mind, our body, and especially when you're putting an end to a bad cycle, but a long one, something recurring, that takes a lot of energy. It's definitely not impossible. You do it all the time, whether you realize it or not, but the exhaustion is still there. Take your time and definitely just be gentle with yourself, okay? I'm feeling like this you guys, I'm feeling like this just loving, nurturing energy. Spirit, I just want you to know that Spirit, the universe, God, whatever, your higher self, you are so loved and you are so worthy of love and being loved, and you have you do bring a lot to this world. There's, everyone does, but I just feel the need to reconfirm to you and remind you that you have an impact on everyone in your life. You have an impact on the environment that you're in. You have an impact. You change the room. You bring something to people that they can't get from a different source, you know? And that's everyone. There's something about you that it's just something that you bring. You know what I mean? I just feel so loving and nurturing towards you all of a sudden. I think this is like your guides, your angels. Sorry, I felt the need to take a really deep breath. Yeah. You should try it too. It's just a beautiful energy here. Just know that you can and will accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. Just because you're not seeing it right now, and you maybe just can't see how you would get there, don't worry about how you would get there. This isn't Google Maps, okay? We're not, physically going anywhere. So therefore, it doesn't work the same, right? You don't necessarily need an exact map. You just need to take little steps at a time. It's like the map, it's like the road there is being uncovered to you as you go. Spirit is showing it to you as you go. Because that's kind of like the point, is that you get to go on this fun journey. You get to take this ride without spoilers, right? You consciously, as a live human, are thinking like, why would I sign up for this, right? Like, why would I choose to do this? But like, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Our souls, our essence, like, this is fun. This is something that we're trying in the way that you would try out a new ride or a game. And you don't want the spoilers. You have to let it unfold. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here. But with that being said, I hope it helped. I hope you feel a little lighter and uplifted. You're definitely gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. Breathe, relax, and if it's late, go to bed. Yeah, okay, bye.